Hey guys, Ningen here, and a few days back I posted a little thing to set up this AMA for my 500 subscribers celebration. Gave you guys a few days to leave some questions as comments on that video, and now we are finally putting them together, and I'm going to run through a handful that I have picked. If your question was not here, it was either the same as one that I already featured, or was one that I didn't particularly have an answer to. There were a few ones I weren't even sure if they were for the AMA, which were just things like, can you add me on Dokkan? So obviously I didn't really count those in this. I just kind of took them as the usual sort of normal video comments. So these are in no particular order. I've tried to keep tried not to put in any that are exactly the same, although there are a couple of comments that mention the same things but then have different questions in. So let us get started. So the first one is Mystic Phobia. It says, do you remember promising on stream to do a lobster cooking video when you reach 2,000 subs, hashtag 2000 lobster plan? Yes, I do remember that. It was, we'd just come over from a Why Try stream, and for some reason we're talking about lobsters, and lobster memes became a thing. Started talking about Super Lobster 17 and the lobster plan. So yeah, if you want to see a lobster cooking video with the Masked Ningen, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and tell your friends, because 2,000 subs we will be doing a lobster cooking video. So, next question is from Step the Penguin. So soon you get to 1,000 mortals, then onwards to 2,000. Looking forward to cooking lobster with the Masked Ningen. Yeah, so he was there too. Other than Dokkan, what other games or genre of games do you play in your spare time? And are you planning on doing any videos on Dragon Ball Legends when it comes out? Yeah, I will definitely be doing videos on Legends. I played the beta very briefly when the first one came out. But I only downloaded an APK for it on the last day, so I didn't really get to do much on it. So I'm looking forward to the actual game coming out so I can get a bit more hands-on with it. Other genres of games, so in my spare time, so I've recently been playing Far Cry 5, which I got so I could play co-op with Mrs. Ningen, because we haven't had a good co-op game to play for a while. And I've still been playing tons of Dark Souls. Playing through Dark Souls 3 with a friend, and I just finished a whole nother playthrough from the start of Dark Souls 1 just to build up the hype for the remaster. So I mentioned this in the comments in another video, but let me know in the comments if you're interested, because when the Dark Souls remaster comes out, I'm going to be spending a lot of my spare time playing that. So if that's something you'd like to see videos of on the channel, obviously it's kind of a Dokkan only channel at the moment, but I'm very open to doing other Dragon Ball and other gaming related content as well. So let me know what you guys want to see in terms of that. So next question is from Jakey0004. Who is best Dragon Ball waifu? I think, let's see, I'd say best Dragon Ball waifu is probably Android 18, because she can also kick your ass. You know, she manages to make it onto the Tournament of Power team, so she is strong as well as a nice looking lady. So, oh, you got Bulma. Go the Vegeta route and marry the richest woman on the planet, so you can have a state of the art training facility. But yeah, who do you guys think is best Dragon Ball waifu? Let me know in the comments. So Roy the Entertainer. These are the questions I have for you. What do you dream on accomplishing in life as you continue your journey on YouTube? How long have you been doing YouTube? I haven't really got any set goals. It's kind of one of those things. I wanted to do it because I really love Dokkan. I've been playing it solidly for quite a while now. And I was inspired by some of the other channels that I've been watching and following for a while. I just thought it'd be something interesting to do. I often bore the other people I know in real life who don't play it as much as me, as I feel like I have quite a in-depth level of knowledge of the game. So I figure rather than going on and on about it to people who are not particularly interested, why not start my own channel and go on and on about it at people who maybe are a little bit more interested. So, and have a lot of fun in the process. So, and then how long have you been on YouTube? So I don't know when exactly I created the channel, because I was setting things up in advance before I actually did anything. But my first ever video, which was a showcase of the free-to-play Intelligence Go Tanks when that Fusions event first ever came out, and that was uploaded on the 19th of November last year, 2017. So only just over 5 months now, really. So going pretty well so far. I'm definitely happy with how things are going. If I go back and watch some of those older videos, the quality is so much lower. So I've definitely learnt a lot as I've gone along in terms of things like editing and just my overall layout, using my recording software more effectively. So yeah, it's been nearly 5 to 6 months now. Things are going pretty well, so looking forward to the future. So let's move on to the next one, and then we have, is that Kyoga or Kyogre's Hideout? What is your personal favourite Dokkan card in terms of card art and just how much fun you have using it? Well, the new Rose is a big favourite because I loved the art as soon as I saw it anyway. I'm a big fan of Rose Goku Black, and of course his card brings back the villain meta. I was a big fan the first time the Rose and Vegeta Blues came out, being able to run Rainbow Villains teams. So that is definitely the team that I'm using the most at the moment. Also a big fan of Marseillan. I mean, obviously, kind of tell from the theme of the channel. But yeah, big fan of Marseillan card art as well. And then, who else? I think, because obviously they have their own distinct art style. LR wise, I think the LR Margin Vegeta art is pretty damn good. So yeah, there's a couple, and obviously I get to use all of those on the Rose Villain team if I want to, so it works out nicely as well. So then we have Dark Avenger says, are you Goten Black? Well, no, I thought Goten Black is the Marseillan, right? I'm the Mars Ningen, so not quite, but So J Fanta says, will you be my husbando? Well, I have consulted with Mrs. Ningen, and she is cool with it. There you have it. You have it right here, ladies and gentlemen. J Fanta and the Mars Ningen, husbando and waifu confirmed. Xavier Blaze says, there's quite a few here. I decided to include them. I think I edited out one or two that were just to keep it a little bit shorter. So when did you start watching Dragon Ball? I think it started on Cartoon Network over here when I was about 15. I used to watch it after school. I think it only went up to near the end of the Saiyan saga and then started again before it then got any further. So who is your favourite character arc in Dragon Ball? My favourite character overall is Vegeta. He's just a badass. He's got the best character development of any of the characters in the series. I don't get anyone who prefers Goku to Vegeta. I feel like it's one of those, when you're a kid and you first watch it, you might like Goku more, and then as you grow up and you start to appreciate things like character development and more deeper sort of angles and storytelling and things like that, I feel like Vegeta is definitely the more solid character overall. What is your favourite movie and why? So it also says in the same one, what's your favourite song? I kind of put both of these under the same things, where I like a very wide genre of movies and music. Like, I'll pretty much watch or listen to anything. So it's really hard for me to have a favourite. It'd probably be even hard. It'd be hard even to do like a top 10. So I know that kind of seems like a cop-out answer, but it really is true. Like, I consider myself a bit of a movie buff. I love movies. I have a huge DVD collection. I just genuinely love watching movies and discussing them. So it'd definitely be hard to pick a favourite. Some of my favourites would be things like the original Alien, RoboCop, Terminator 2, which is one of the only sequels that is probably better than the original, in my opinion. I also was lucky enough, I've just gone to see Infinity War, which is probably the best of the Marvel movies. Although Guardians of the Galaxy ranks really high with me. Until Infinity War came along to throw that into doubt, I would say Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the best Marvel movie. And that's high up on my list as well. I could pretty much watch that any time and still enjoy it. And it just says, love the videos, keep up the quality content. Well, thanks a lot. I'm glad you enjoy and hope you continue to do so. Let's see. Sharky Face, what's your favourite Dragon Ball movie? Not Dokkan related. That's right, they didn't need to be specifically Dokkan related. As you can see, they obviously haven't been so far anyway. Favourite Dragon Ball movie? If you consider just the old ones, because obviously Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F are pretty amazing just for being modern level quality of animation. Considering the original set of movies, I would say my favourite is either the BoJack movie or Fusion Reborn. The whole Gogeta Janemba finale is pretty awesome in that, and the same with the BoJack. I think when I was young and was first seeing it on Cartoon Network, I saw an AMV of All About Gohan on YouTube that had a lot of clips from the BoJack movie, so that probably helps as well. I'm also a big fan of the design of Final Form Cooler, although I've never been able to find a dub of that movie that is actually good. I don't know if Funimation actually did ever dub it, but the only one I've seen doesn't have Sean Shenmue as Goku, and some of the other voices are quite weird, so I like the design of Final Form Cooler, but not the movie so much. And then obviously the new movies, Battle of Gods is amazing, plus it has the That's My Bulma scene, which is probably my favourite thing in all of Dragon Ball, which obviously relates back to Vegeta being my favourite character. And of course Resurrection of F being the most up to date. I've watched that multiple times. I even went to the cinema to see it, because it was with a rare occasion when we actually got a Dragon Ball movie come out in the cinema over here in the UK, so absolutely had to go and see that. So yeah, hopefully that answers that. So the Chosen One says, who would you want the next LR to be? What type should they be? So we haven't had an LR Cell, which I feel like has got to be coming at some point. And then what type? I was actually talking about this the other day when we were discussing about who the top extreme teams were. The extreme physical team I feel like is in need of an LR. I mean, I guess they're not in need of one because they're such a powerful team without having an LR, which is what we discussed in the video. Because obviously they do have the Captain Ginyu, but he's not available on Global, and not many people have him on JP anyway. So because they're releasing those ones like the Goten and Trunks and BoJack, where they give 100% to their either Super or Extreme type and then 4 key, I can imagine seeing something like LR Cell as being the extreme physical one, 100% and 4 key. Because some of the other versions of Cell have links like Metamorphosis and things like Shocking Speed, which would obviously match up well with Cooler and Omega Shenron on that team. So I feel like that could be interesting. I would very much like to see, there was a fake one that somebody made floating around Twitter recently. I would very much like to see an LR Goku and Frieza from the end of Dragon Ball Super. I think that would be pretty awesome. And then the one that I voted for in the actual LR election, which ended up giving us LR Vegito Blue, was the Team Bardock. I thought that would be pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of Bardock. So I thought that would be pretty cool to have the Bardock team as an LR. So I don't know how that would work. It would probably just be Bardock and then show the rest of them in the super attack, because obviously we have LRs and units that are 2 characters on the screen at once, but I don't think they could really do one with 5. But there you go. So next one is 2 separate comments from Yusef Plays. I thought I'd just include them both here. So the first one is, when will you remove your mask? I think I mentioned it in the actual video where I took these questions, but when we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm planning to do a face reveal. So we are on our way to that now. And then, how would one make a proper Dokkan battle channel? I mean, I don't know. Would you call mine a proper Dokkan battle channel? Really, all you have to do is obviously you need the setup so you can actually record the footage anyway. Program like OBS, which is what I use, which allows you to put the overlay, so where I show my team or the other images like that around the sides. And then other than that, I feel the best bet is just to have fun with it. You know, you also kind of need to know a lot about Dokkan, but as long as you're having fun and you kind of know what you're talking about, I mean, that's all I've done really, and I'm doing pretty well so far. Obviously thankful to all you guys out there who are supporting me. I would never have considered myself an expert or anything, but I do have a knack for storing useless knowledge. Can't learn how to do super technical things that, you know, related to maths or science or anything like that, but you give me an RPG that I'm incredibly interested in, and I will learn all sorts of ridiculous things about the stats and tactics and things like that. So I feel like it works to my strengths. I feel like I have a very good understanding of the game, so I guess that helps. But yeah, generally just have fun. I mean, you can kind of tell when you watch content, the people who aren't enjoying it as much and are just doing it for the sake of making content. You can tell, I think, and it's not as enjoyable. So yeah, best bet is just have fun. So then we have Jonathan says, when did you find out the DBF Urkel is the best? Okay, that is him, by the way. So being serious, what unit would you like to come out next, and please include their category? Let's see, who should come out next? I always thought they should do a Super Mirror from the end of Xenoverse 2. And then he could potentially be some kind of android category leader. Because now that JP has the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, who is the Pure Saiyan category leader, Super Saiyan 4 Goku now has a category, which leaves our boy Super 17 as the only Dokkan Fest exclusive that doesn't have a category. So I feel like we need to get an android category. So I feel that should either be Super Mirror or Android 21 from Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm quite surprised they didn't make a card of her already, because JP is in the habit of releasing these cards based on things in the series and stuff like that as soon as they come out. So I'm kind of surprised that FighterZ has been out for this long and we haven't seen an Android 21 card. So I imagine that will be coming at some point, but we shall have to see. And then yeah, I would assume that they would then be an Android category. I don't know, they probably wouldn't fit into any of the other ones. Because the normal Mirror is not considered a resurrected warrior, so the Super Mirror wouldn't be in that category. They're not movie bosses, so yeah, I imagine that they would probably be their own category leader and probably just be in that category. So, but I guess we'll have to see. I assume that 21 will come to Dokkan at some point, maybe not Super Mirror. I guess it depends what they do with Xenoverse 3, because that will probably be out next year sometime, so I assume there'll be some kind of crossover, but we shall have to see. So Mystic Phobia again, another question if I may, what are the top 3 characters you most want to see in Dokkan? I think, yeah, that's why I included this one, because it was kind of the same as the last one. So the other characters I would like to see who aren't in there, trying to think in terms of what other characters there even are, because we kind of have covered almost everything. Like the ones that come to mind are not characters that I would particularly care about, because I know we don't have a Lord Slug card, but I can't say I really care about Lord Slug. We don't have a Garlic Jr. card, but again, I couldn't care less about Garlic Jr. I definitely want the Heroes stuff to come to Global that's only on JP, but I mean, I guess that doesn't really count because they are in the game already, they're just not in the global version. So going by some of the crazy stuff, I'm a big fan of the what if characters and fusions. So if you've been keeping up to date with the crazy cutscenes and characters that they're putting into Dragon Ball Heroes, even though we probably won't see them in JP, it'd be cool to see characters like Super Saiyan 4 Broly, Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, the fusion of Trunks and Vegeta as well. I'm not sure if he actually has an official name because I've only seen the Dragon Ball Heroes trailer, but it'd be pretty cool to see those. It'd also be pretty cool, I guess he would probably have to be a Dokkan Fest exclusive, which they haven't really done. something like that, except for Super Saiyan 3 Broly, I guess. But they brought out those other Super Saiyan 3 characters in that Heroes banner. I'd be interested in seeing something crazy like a Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta or Vegito. I think that would be pretty cool. Obviously they don't exist, and there are a lot of people who don't like the what if character stuff, but I am a big fan of it, so I think that would be pretty cool personally. And Violent Blue, when did you go pay to play on Dokkan? You know, I'm not actually sure. I don't think I ever kept track. So when I very first started playing it, I didn't spend any money for... Honestly, I don't know. It got to the point, I'm not even sure what banner, but I know when I first started, I used to buy the odd cheap sale stone bundle every now and then. And then it was by the time... I think it was by the time Rose and Vegito Blue came out that I'd gone properly pay to play and actually bought like a couple of the 91 packs, whereas before that I'd never really bought that many. And then we got to the 2 year and I went pretty hard to try and get the Super Saiyan 4s, and then yeah, just pretty much been in full on pay to play mode after that. So S1234P, what was your experience when you started to play Dokkan? Did you have prior knowledge of anything about the game, or did you download it and start to play it out of nowhere? Yeah, so somebody at work actually had it, and they had only just really started it, and they showed me it because they knew I was a fan of Dragon Ball. So I downloaded it, and I easily spent the first few weeks just having no idea what I was doing, just playing through the story. I've mentioned it before on, I think, the showcase that I did for him, but one of my first SSRs that I awakened up to a UR was the physical Super Saiyan Bardock, whose leader skill was all types Ki +2, which back then was great. I remember I pulled the AGL Ultimate Gohan and the AGL Golden Frieza a couple of times, so they were on my team. I'm trying to think when it was even when I first started playing. But I know when I got properly into playing it regularly was around the time that Super Vegito and the physical Broly came out. Because I'd only really been playing it off and on before then. And I managed to pull both of them in the first couple of multis from when the banner came out. And then didn't even realise that Broly was another 70% leader. And then I think it was around that time that I started actually looking into Dokkan on YouTube to try and learn a little bit more, and then obviously through that found the wiki and DBZ space and the Reddit and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, I definitely had absolutely no knowledge of it whatsoever when I started, and I'm sure I made loads of terrible mistakes. I know I Dokkan awakened a fair few of the free-to-play units without knowing you could farm their super attack, so definitely had absolutely no idea what I was doing at the beginning. Goku Black says, first, do you have PlayStation or an Xbox? I have an Xbox, Xbox One. Second, if you have one or the other, do you play Dragon Ball FighterZ? So I got Dragon Ball FighterZ when it first came out, but I was really disappointed. I don't know if it was the same with the PlayStation version. I did hear some things here and there, but the Xbox version was basically unplayable. Like, you just constantly get disconnected. The ring lobbies thing didn't work. Even searching for ranked or player matches, it took ages, and when you finally found someone, they either disconnected before the match actually started, or you got into the fight and then one of you got kicked. And then because the whole thing is pretty much an online lobby, you wouldn't just get kicked back to the lobby, you'd get kicked back to the title screen. So I tried for a good week or two, and yeah, I was not happy to have paid that amount of money for a game that basically didn't work, so I got in touch with the Xbox store and got a refund. I'm obviously very interested now that Bardock and Broly are out, and we've just seen the trailers drop for Zamasu and Vegito Blue. I definitely do want to play it again, because I mean, it looks great and I had fun playing it, but when it actually worked. So I'm kind of hoping that it works properly now, and then I'd be tempted to get it again. So let me know in the comments if it's something you'd be interested in seeing. I know a lot of the other Dokkan and Dragon Ball channels do FighterZ content, but it is a fun game to play, so if you guys want to see some of that, then I'm happy to get on that. Otherwise, I'll just play it off camera. That's all good. So let me know what you guys want to see. And then we've got our boy Why Try. He's finally come around. When was the exact moment you realised 17 was the best 120 lead? I'm not really sure. I mean, I've got to be honest, he's not the best 120 lead. The best 120 lead has got to be Cooler. But I do appreciate your enthusiasm. I would say he is the second best. And I realised it not long after I pulled him. I did one multi-summon on his banner in the hopes of getting Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. And actually got Super 17. So it's typical. One of the few times I get the the main Dokkan Fest card first multi-summon, and it was on a banner where I didn't even want the main Dokkan Fest unit. And of course, so since I got him, I of course leveled him up, farmed his super attack, put a version of the team together, and actually found it to be quite fun. So obviously I had Rose, I had the LR androids. I didn't have many other good extreme AGL units at the time. And then it was not long after that I pulled LR Majin Vegeta for the first time. And then a little while ago I pulled the Trenchcoat 17 support and the AGL Cooler, which kind of makes the team complete. The team is incredibly powerful and a lot of fun. So I mean I enjoy running all of the extreme teams except maybe Extreme Strength. It's very limited on the good units. Now that we've got Rose, it's a lot better. I will say that, but it's probably my least favourite team to run just because I'm not really overly impressed with Janemba, but there you go. So he's not quite the best, though I do appreciate that you are starting to see the light, so that is definitely better than nothing. So there you go. So that is all of the ones that we got. I hope you guys found that at least somewhat interesting. Tried to keep it short without rambling too much, but just wanted to get through all of the questions that were appropriate that we got, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So we had the Zamasu video go up today, and I've done a Vegito Blue one as well that will be out tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. Definitely leave a like and click that subscribe button if you are new. We are now solidly on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so hashtag 1000 Mortals Plan all over the comments. Follow me on Twitter at @TheMaskedNingen. You can tweet me your summon pools or ideas on themes and teams you want to see in the future. So again, this was to celebrate getting to 500 subscribers, so a huge thank you to everyone who has been supporting me, whether it's from the start or whether you've only just joined. Hopefully you will continue to enjoy the content, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.